Hello, welcome to my official channel. This is going to be my first video, so be prepared for some choppy editing. I decided to pick this little yellow sketchbook that I just finished recently to show you, just to flip through and talk about my processes, my materials, ideas, and tips that you might be able to also use for your own sketchbooks. So stick around and see what's inside. I wanted to welcome you to my sketchbook. It's probably taken me about 3 years to complete this. And yeah, so here's the front page here. These are just some stickers that I've collected from local shops and things. And here's some little doodles that I have done and personal information that I should probably blur out. This is where I used to live in Halifax on Citadel Hill. And there's little sketches of people in here that I decided not to put in. These are sketches of myself, just getting facial expressions and gestures right. And the glasses here are actually nail polish, so yeah, they do a little shimmer thing. I think my favorite one must be this one just because of the tired eyes. This is a guy from Instagram, Juicy Paradise. He's a tattoo and piercing artist, I guess. And this is Dexter. And yeah, feel free to read the captions or not. I don't really have a guy voice to do it. Komodo or Komodo dragon or iguana, something. Yeah, had lots of fun doing the details on this one, which is gel pen, and then I used the same gel pen to outline this African milk plant. I think that's right. This is a sketch of some cats sitting on a brick wall that I've seen in Barcelona, and this is a sticker from their museum there. These are, well, this is the skyline of Toronto, and then here's just a few little sequences in between that kind of has something to do with dreams. This is some kind of fortress that was in Toronto, right by the airport, and then they have the Barcelona skyline down here. I started off with this page first, just a bunch of eye expressions, and then on this other page it was like a year later that I decided what to do on the other side, and I just made them kind of blend into each other. It's not my favorite page, but I learned from it, so I'm gonna keep it. This is a sketch of some guys at the airport, and afterwards I added in this like swan fountain and birds. Yeah. Not all of them are colored, but I feel like sometimes coloring them ruins the sketch, so I prefer to just keep the sketches clean as possible. This here is July Talk. They are an amazing rock band, kind of like erotic rock and roll. I would definitely check them out. July Talk. This is actually their concert stub here too, if you're wondering. This is just a little color theory that I tried out, and another sketch idea that I had. I don't really know what this is. This is actually a Snapchat filter. Yeah, I don't know why I decided to keep it. I just thought it was funny. I love this page. I found this woman on Pinterest. The background here is actually a chocolate wrapper from an art gallery. And it's got gold and bits in it. And I decided to do some kind of like hot sunset with like a gondola down here. It's probably one of my favorite pages. And I did some animal studies. So yeah, a bird here. I love how sketchy this one is. And I like how this frog turned out too, with a bunch of stippling. Hope it's focusing. And yeah, I added this afterwards, the alligators. This is actually a picture I found of a bunch of frogs sitting on top of an alligator. Love it. A study of a plant that I did that was in my apartment. another study of like this wall-framed succulent thing I saw, and then I just added a temple and a little monk standing in the doorway. This would be the Mushroom Man. I kind of have a backstory for him where he fell asleep in the forest and woke up this way. I guess he was half injured and the mushroom got in his wounds or something. And then kind of a suggestion of like a distraught city. More studies. I used to just go through magazines and draw some models. Just very quickly and roughly. And there's a little airplane here to give her something to look at. Yeah. I had a big problem with this page for a long time. At first I did like a Rorschach where I like splattered ink and pressed it together. And then I didn't really know what to do with it. So I covered it over with this color sample, like for wall painting. And then this is a tattoo that I actually have a pack of 5. I didn't know what to do with those. So, but yeah, I turned it into a big stretcher earring, and then I decided to add a face, and then I got into this geometrical shaping of, mimicking curves, and I don't know, but I got something on a page. At least I did that. What you're looking for is looking for you too. I like that quote. And in the back here, I just, at first I splattered all this colored ink washes and all that stuff, and then I just drew what I saw within these blobby bubble things, which was eyes. And then this is a past character that I redrew a couple times, and she's all rusted, which I like. I was created, therefore I too am a child of the gods. Here are some hand studies with some sigils that have to do with dreams. I don't really want to give away what they mean. I did find this one on Pinterest though. I think this means I will remember my dreams. But yeah, this one I'm going to keep a secret. Here is someone very special to me. It was a picture of him actually floating underwater, but I decided to put him in the sky with these background fields and mountains or water, whatever you like to see there. And this was a cover-up of something underneath, I can't even remember, but I decided to do a little kissy face with a bunch of, I was testing out my colored pencils because I don't use them too often, so yeah. I actually used this drawing for an art battle that I did recently, and people were very confused. I think it's because the nose blends up here, but I like the subtlety of it. This page, these are characters. These 2 people came first, and then I added these guys later on. You'll see them later in the book. Yeah, he's performing some magic. I like that I got the expressions fairly right on with this one. There was a lot of back and forth with this over years to get that one right. This here is rice fields. You should definitely Google them. They're freaking gorgeous. And some abstract flowers that I did. Some abstract shapes. This is supposed to be a person standing here. I wanted to color it, but I like the black and white on this page. Did some like Art Nouveau kind of style with I wouldn't say a nun, but someone there. And then this was actually a design I saw on a carpet in Toronto. So I decided to sketch it down, and I love these little star things here. So where did I even see this? I can't remember if I saw a drawing or if I made these up. I think I saw a drawing and I put them together. Can't remember where I found them though, but I like how it's like just enough nudity. Yeah, lots of tension. And I didn't even realize till like last week that these could be the two people, you know, after their encounter. And I almost put words in here, but I figured I like it without, because, you know, they look like they have nothing to say, which is a little sad. But if you have any suggestions for what they could be saying to each other, let me know. Comment. I'd like to hear them. So this was a cover-up page. Just covered it in a bunch of gold, and hopefully you can see there's some chrome nail polish on there to kind of make them a bit green. I do quite a few beetles just because of their holographic qualities and the science behind their design and everything like that. And over here, I didn't really know what to do, so I did some imagined Hebrew writing. I kind of understand some symbology of it, but I'm not that fluent, so excuse my ignorance, but I think it's just gorgeous. Yeah, sketches from women out of magazines again, and I thought these women looked really good together because they kind of look like they're having a conversation about, you know, her younger years or her love, and she's listening intently, like these. Good facial expression studies. So this is a butterfly. I forget the name of it, but I have the real butterfly in my living room that I'll show you here in a second. So here is the butterfly. Got this for $10 at a thrift store, which is insane. I always thought when I see butterflies, I thought of this funny pun where butterflies flutter by, which is very true. And yeah, this should have some duochrome nail polish on it too. It might be kind of hard to see, but it's there. I love this one. It kind of reminds me of Gustav Klimt, The Kiss. The gold and the very like squared off posture. I think I'd like to make this one into a larger piece of work eventually. Just beautiful. This is also a cover-up. This is actually, these gold bits are chocolate wrappers from Easter. And I just decided to make it into a design page with my sigil that you might have seen back there. And this is a life drawing of an area in Halifax. Yeah. Just like the overgrowth of greenery and yeah, all the boxes. Yeah. So this is a character idea. I saw this guy on Pinterest, I believe, and I added him a straitjacket. After that was these trees, and then I was wondering what I should put in the background, and I remembered my cousin, she said a car, and I took pictures of my boyfriend's grandparents' car. It was this old rusted car on a hillside, and oh yeah, so that blew my mind when I put all that together. And then yeah, I wanted him to have kind of a dual personality disorder, so I put all these mouse here. It says, "One voice at a time, please." Yeah, it's a bit of a disturbing page, but I think it makes for a good story. It's got some narrativeness to it. This page was also a cover-up disaster. So it was a sketch and all this stuff. I was going to do the same sketch twice, but in different styles, but I didn't really seem that interested in it, so I just decided to cover up with colors to make it some kind of like Indian patch fabric, I guess. And this is actually a picture of me that my friend took a couple years ago for a photo shoot when she was in photography. And then I just made up this this coat that you might see a style of later in another one. This is Feist from a newspaper that I drew, and this circular thing back here is actually a cupcake holder, and there was going to be a whole scene back here, but I didn't want to crowd the page, so I just decided to make it a little abstract. So, makes for a nice image, but This is a woman I saw in a magazine. I think it was basically the same outfit too. The only thing that wasn't here was the necklace. She was just looking at her nails or something. And yeah, I had an idea to maybe put someone like trying to tap her shoulder here, or people standing in a market, but I couldn't think of what to do. So maybe words. If you have any suggestions, again, I'd love to hear them. Oh, this page here. So it's a black permanent marker on the pages, and then I just drew in with pencil these trees with lots of lines and roots. And yeah, I think this is one of my favorite pages. Hopefully you can see somewhat clearly what's going on here. But this is a picture of my friend that I took. I just love the blown up eye and the, God, what do you call this magnifying glass? And I put her in a made up costume just to make it a little more fantasy-like. Yeah, giant's hand and a little fairy. If you guys have ever seen those little wings that like fall down from the trees and they spin on the way down, that's what her wings are. And, yeah, those trees back here, kind of feeling more into my style at this point, I guess. This page, I was looking at a National Geographic book and saw these lions, so they came first. And this lady back here, lying with the lions, is a live sketch that I did when I was in university for art, and I just added her in there, and then the sun. Very peaceful looking. It's a shame because the marker kind of like blew through the page here, but it's a group of hairless cats lying together. And I thought about coloring it again, but I just love the line work, and little circles, and the delicateness of it, so I decided not to touch it. And then a dog from a magazine. So on the other side of the page, I colored it black, and yeah, I just decided to work with it. And I think the texture kind of works. It's kind of hard to see, but it kind of goes with its patchiness. These are two statues that I saw in Barcelona that I just wanted to do very contrasty and just kind of commemorate the time that I was there. So I was there for Christmas and New Year's in 2017. Yeah. Another grouping of animals, some deers here. I love these little groupings. And then I decided to draw a native man here. I think he's native to Nova Scotia. I can't quite be sure, but I think he looks pretty badass. And then up here I just test my markers and write down the numbers just to make sure that I'm always using the right color if I ever go back into things. This is just kind of a mismatch page. Like the orange flowers on this side are real and they're just kind of glued down, and then these are just kind of abstract renditions of leaves that I've seen. This one is real too. It's got these black lines from like some kind of slimy bug or something. I thought it was pretty cool, so I put it in there. And then these are actually just watercolor marks of imagined petals, I guess. And this flower is real too. Yeah, makes an interesting page. Right here I got some kind of like holographic shiny blue ink. I guess like some kind of water nymph or something. And then the fish, I put some of that green nail polish on top, and yeah. And then I got kind of like a background skull cave something there. This fish was really fun to do, especially with all these little dots on his skin. I remember liking that a lot. Here they are. So I called these my band of beasts. Yeah, I just closed my eyes for a good while until these creatures came into my head, and I feel like even in my dreams that these two guys ran past me. And I think I might have seen this guy too later on walking by me. I've never seen this guy though. This is actually, I copied a face from another artist because I appreciated just how they did the nose and the chin and how strong it looked. And then I just imagined his body and him putting the beast to a halt, and then this guy's telling this guy what to do, and they're all speaking their own crazy language. And they are talking to Florence from Florence and the Machine, basically. I love her. Her music is amazing, and she's a goddess. And I decided to appreciate her by drawing her in my book. Gave her some nice shiny hair and put her in this beautiful gown that I imagined. Yeah. I thought about putting words here too, like one of her lyrics, maybe, I'm not giving up, I'm just giving in. Like that one. So, yeah. This page was kind of a hack. I feel like, yeah, I could still add more to it, but... So this would be one of my more successful Rorschach drawings, you know, where you splatter ink and pour it in between, and they use it as tests for people with psychosis problems. So yeah, it was the ink blot first, and then I took different pictures of myself to see what would work best with this type of pattern, and I decided to make myself bald and look like a monk. Like that one. And this is actually a real piece of wood that I found in the forest. And it was so delicate to breaking, but it was just holding itself together. So I imagined, me and my boyfriend called it an inoculate. And I just imagined some kind of power that it had. So I imagine that you could see the true reality of things through it. And this is just kind of like a Art Nouveau style, flowers and dying leaves. And I don't know why I put these lines here, I guess just for more contrast or something in the middle, but it reminds me of a violin or some kind of guitar, so whenever I look at it I think of music. So I like that one a lot. I thought that was very successful. Here are my Bat and Robin, kind of a pun on Batman and Robin, obviously. And I just touched these up the other day. They didn't have any really background, it was just kind of the animals. And then it kind of made sense to have, you know, the moon here and the rising sun on this side. So I'm really happy with how this page turned out. And here is another famous person. It's probably hard to tell because I didn't get the faces right on, but these are poses of Jim Carrey. Yeah, and they kind of appeal to the same type of character, I suppose. But yeah, I gave him this outfit and put a table behind him, which you'll see in a second why. And yeah, I just really like the thinking poses. And I'm thinking of maybe putting some little words up in here, but again, give me hints. I'm not sure what to do with it yet. And then one of the final pages, I was really falling in love with that ultramarine and red combination. So yeah, I made this crazy looking map and having, you know, Jim Carrey point on the map. And I've been thinking about something in here too, but again, words, no words. Hard to say. Yeah, I love that page. And we are at the end. This is my final page. This is stickers. That's a sticker from one of my best friend's weddings. It was a Alice in Wonderland themed wedding. It was pretty sweet. And a Volkswagen bus that my boyfriend got for me. I love that. And this is just kind of where I test all my markers, test the colors, and you know, scribble to make sure that they're still working, and just little notes on things that I wanted to work on, and yeah. So that is my sketchbook. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed watching me flip through this as much as I have been making it. I have taken a lot of time and what looks like blood, sweat, and tears to make this book. So please give it a like if you liked it. If you feel like subscribing, please do that. I have an Instagram. Check out that on Dita.Did. And also, if you guys have any comments on what the characters could have been saying, or maybe mention one of your favorite illustrations that you found in this book, it would really help me out to know that, and I'd be very grateful. So thank you guys so much. I hope to see you all around again.